In the year 60 BC, somewhere in the Aegean Sea, a catastrophe unfolded. A Roman merchant vessel, laden with treasures plundered from the Greek islands, sailed into a violent storm. The crew fought desperately against the raging waters, but nature was merciless. The ship struck the rocky shores of a tiny island called Antikythera and sank into the depths, taking its secrets with it. For over 2,000 years, this shipwreck remained hidden beneath the waves, guarding one of the most extraordinary artifacts ever discovered. A device so advanced, it would rewrite our understanding of ancient technology. Easter 1900. Greek sponge divers, blown off course by another storm, sought shelter near Antikythera. When the weather cleared, Captain Dimitrios Kondos and his crew dove down, searching for sponges. What they found instead would astound the world. At a depth of 150 feet lay an ancient treasure trove, bronze statues, marble sculptures, pottery, and jewelry scattered across the seafloor. Among the haul of precious artifacts was a corroded, unassuming lump of bronze, barely recognizable. Initially dismissed as merely another piece of debris, this crusty rock would prove to be the most significant find of all. No one could have imagined that within this mineral-encrusted mass lay the world's first known analog computer.
Months after the discovery, as the salvaged artifacts dried in the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, something extraordinary happened. The corroded lump suddenly split apart, revealing something impossible: bronze gears, wheels, and inscribed plates nestled within like the workings of a clock. Archaeologist Valerio Stice was stunned. How could an ancient civilization have created such sophisticated machinery? The gear mechanisms resembled those ground in 18th century clocks, yet this device was over 2,000 years old. The scientific community was baffled. Many dismissed it as a hoax or a much later intrusion into the wreck. The technology seemed too advanced, too precise. It was as if someone had found a laptop in a medieval tomb.
For decades, the Antikythera Mechanism remained a tantalizing puzzle. It wasn't until the 1950s that British physicist Derek de Solla Price dedicated himself to unraveling its secrets. Using X-ray technology, cutting edge for its time, Price peered inside the calcified fragments. What he discovered was revolutionary: a complex system of at least 30 bronze gears precisely cut and interlocking. In 1974, Price published his findings, declaring the mechanism an ancient astronomical calculator. But even he couldn't fully decipher its purpose. Then, in the 21st century, advanced imaging technology transformed everything. High-resolution CT scans revealed hidden inscriptions, tiny gear teeth, and a level of complexity that exceeded even Price's wildest theories. The mechanism contained not 30, but over 80 components.
Imagine holding a bronze box, roughly the size of a shoebox, with dials on both front and back faces. On the side, a hand crank. As you turn that crank, an intricate symphony of gears springs to life. The mechanism's engineering is breathtaking. The gears are cut with extraordinary precision, some with as few as 15 teeth, others with over 220. They're arranged in gear trains, each ratio carefully calculated to represent astronomical cycles. The main gear represents one solar year. As it turns, it drives other gears representing the moon's phases, the sun's position through the zodiac, and the movements of the 5 planets known to ancient Greeks: Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn. The mathematical sophistication required to design these gear ratios demonstrates that the ancient Greeks understood astronomy at a level historians never imagined possible.
The front dial of the Antikythera Mechanism was nothing short of a cosmic calendar. Divided into the 12 zodiac signs and 365 days of the Egyptian calendar, it tracked the sun's annual journey across the heavens. But the back of the device revealed even more astonishing capabilities. 2 spiral dials displayed information about lunar cycles and, incredibly, predicted eclipses. The upper dial followed the 19-year Metonic cycle, the period after which the phases of the moon repeat on the same calendar days. The lower dial tracked the Saros cycle, an 18-year period used to predict when and where eclipses would occur. Think about this. Over 2,000 years ago, someone could turn a hand crank and know that an eclipse would darken the skies on a specific date years in the future. This wasn't magic. It was mathematics, engineering, and astronomical observation synthesized into a portable device.
Here's the truly haunting question. If the ancient Greeks could build such sophisticated technology, why did it vanish? The Antikythera Mechanism represents a technological peak that wouldn't be matched for over 1,400 years until the astronomical clocks of medieval Europe. What happened? The knowledge required to create this device, the metallurgy, mathematics, astronomical observation, and precision engineering, seemed to evaporate from human civilization. Perhaps the mechanism was one of a kind, a masterpiece by a singular genius, or perhaps such devices were more common than we know, but all others were melted down for their bronze, lost at sea, or destroyed in the countless wars and catastrophes of the ancient world. The burning of the Library of Alexandria, the collapse of classical civilization, and the tumult of the Dark Ages may have erased countless technological achievements, leaving only this single miraculous survivor.
Who possessed the genius to create this marvel? The evidence points to the island of Rhodes, a center of astronomical learning in the ancient world. The mechanism's calendar correlates with Rhodes, and the eclipse predictions match the geography of that region. Some scholars believe the legendary Archimedes himself, who died in 12 BC, may have designed an early version. Ancient Roman writings describe Archimedes creating spheres that showed the movements of the sun, moon, and planets, descriptions that eerily match our mechanism. Others point to Hipparchus, the brilliant astronomer who worked in Rhodes around 150 BC, whose lunar theories appear embedded in the device's gear ratios. Perhaps it was Posidonius, another Rhodian scholar known for creating astronomical instruments. We may never know the name of the craftsman who forged those intricate gears, but we know this: they were a genius who understood the cosmos in ways that wouldn't be equaled for over a millennium.
The Antikythera Mechanism forces us to reconsider everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. For centuries, we imagined ancient peoples as primitive, their achievements limited to grand architecture and philosophy. We thought complex machinery was a modern invention, that scientific precision required contemporary tools. This single device shatters those assumptions. It proves that ancient minds were every bit as brilliant as ours, capable of mathematical sophistication, astronomical insight, and engineering precision that rivals our own. It reminds us that progress isn't linear, that knowledge can be gained and lost, that civilizations can reach extraordinary heights and then fall, taking their wisdom with them. It makes us wonder, what else have we lost? What other ancient technologies, scientific achievements, and engineering marvels have been erased by time, waiting to be rediscovered in a shipwreck, a cave, or beneath desert sands? Today, the fragile fragments of the Antikythera Mechanism rest in the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, protected behind glass. These corroded gears, silent for 2 millennia, speak volumes. They whisper of human ingenuity, of our eternal quest to understand the universe, to measure time, to predict the dance of celestial bodies. They remind us that the line connecting ancient astronomers to modern astrophysicists is unbroken. The same curiosity, the same brilliance, the same drive to comprehend our place in the cosmos. The mechanism is more than an ancient computer. It's a message from the past, telling us that we have always been explorers, inventors, and dreamers. And perhaps, somewhere beneath the waves or buried in the earth, other messages wait to be discovered, ready to once again astonish us and reshape our understanding of human achievement. The Antikythera Mechanism, proof that the ancient world was far more sophisticated than we ever imagined.